All right, we are on live, going live the second time. Hey Instagram, it's been a while. Good afternoon, Facebook. Good to be with you again. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm gonna give you guys a second to jump on. Hopefully, I was a couple minutes late, so I apologize. Getting the dog outside. Thankfully, it's a super nice day, so I could put the dog outside and just getting all my stuff together. I've been sharing the last couple days how feeling like I'm getting back into the swing of things after break. It's always interesting to come off of December with it being super crazy busy. Everybody's in a rush. And also we got sick, and then everything else that comes with just being around everybody at Christmas. And then just kind of trying to take some time off to chill and hang out with family, right? So then when you get back into it, you send the kids back to school and get back into the swing of things with work, it's always a little different and can be difficult to get back into the swing of things. So welcome, and thanks for bearing with me, and thanks for joining today. Hopefully I can share some information with you that is beneficial and helpful to you. I would love to hear your questions if you have them along the way. So go ahead and type them in if you do. I don't think I ended up with any extra questions over here. Let me check though, so I make sure not to leave anybody out. Just one second. Okay, we're good there. All right, so I wanted to give you a rundown of what I'll share today. I will be sharing a little bit about my story, and I know some of you have heard that before, but I'll share a little bit just so people that are new can kind of get an idea of where I've come from and why I'm doing this. I'm going to share with you the top reasons doTERRA is an amazing company to work for, why this is a great time to start a doTERRA business or relaunch your business or whatever it is with doTERRA, why this is the best time, and then why you should join me, why I want you to work with me, okay? So briefly, my story. So when Sarah Jansen, Nesting Gypsy, shared oils with me for the first time, it was in a class setting. So what I mean by class is kind of similar to like a party that maybe, you know, a bag company or a candle company would do. So you get a group of women together and you just get to hang out and experience the whatever they're selling. And so I sat in that class and I thought, man, these oils smell great. I might replace candles in my home and use a diffuser and oils instead, because that'd probably be cheaper. And at the end of the class, she gave me a roller bottle of Balance and Serenity. And I used that for the next 6 months, specifically started using it on a trip to New Mexico that I took with my kids. It was about 17 hours in the van alone with them. I had a 6-year-old, a 3-year-old, and an 18-month-old. And we had a great time. They were, you know, they were great travelers, but I really believe that Balance and Serenity played a huge role in how I survived that trip. And then I realized after I got back and started using it a lot more frequently that I didn't know how bad I felt until I started feeling better. So what I mean by bad is I didn't realize how hormonal I had gotten, how emotional I had gotten, how little things would trip me up and send me into a spiral. I was also watching a little girl who was 6 months younger than my daughter, who was 18 months at the time. So it was busy at my house and it was stressful. And prior to that year, we had gotten so much sickness, I can't even begin to tell you. because of my son starting kindergarten and just being, and we were not supporting ourselves with any natural remedies. We weren't eating the best, and all of that kind of stuff. So we were just passing around the sickness like it was going out of style. So we started the oils and started using them in a way that for me was kind of, slowly getting into it. So my friend Sarah had to basically pull out all the stops to get me to enroll, like offer me all the free stuff that she could think of, tell me how much she wanted me on her team, tell me how she needed someone to take a leadership role in this area, which I wasn't planning on, I wasn't looking for, but I'll tell you about that. Anyway, and she pulled out all the stops. So I started using oils like Digest Zen. I have a gluten intolerance. I started using Balance and Serenity. I started with the trio, and just the minimal amount of oils that I could start with. But literally, people started coming out of the woodwork to join me in just using oils and wanting to build a business with me. Our lives started to change. That's almost a completely different story. So you can probably find previous article or previous Zooms about that. But so what happened is I wasn't planning on doing the business. I wasn't planning on creating any type of freedom financially. I was happy at home, and I thought I was, and I really was. But I started to, I hope this internet is okay. Are you guys on Facebook? Is this internet okay? We'll see. Is the connection on Facebook okay? We'll see here. Seems like it's kind of blurry to me. So anyway, I started, Sarah said, perfect, Angel, thanks. Sarah wanted me to join her team. She told me, hey, why don't you just upgrade to a wellness advocate? Or I think I even signed up as one. I think back then you just signed up as a wellness advocate. And she said, I need to know if you're interested, if you've got any inkling in doing this, I need someone on my team in this area. And I said, sure, why not? Here's how she got me. And maybe you guys know this about me. She said, don't you want some extra money to go garage sailing? And I was like, yes, totally do. Like some money, we were on a strict budget, coming out of college, paying off those kinds of things, bought a new house, all of that kind of stuff. So for me to have some fun money that I didn't have to, worry about taking out of the budget or things like that, it was a definite plus. So, I was thinking, hey, if I had $50 a month to go garage selling, that'd be awesome. So I just started the business, not knowing at all what was happening here, not having my belief in the business yet, not having any idea how the business worked, compensation, all that kind of stuff. So that all came. Sarah's a very good educator, and I found that information. I got, I was on every call possible that, training-wise that we did, all those kind of things. So fast forward to later in that year, in the fall. So I started July 14 and just started teaching classes. That's what you do. You're supposed to book your calendar up. I got plugged into a group right away where we printed out the information and I wrote it in. I've actually have that information still, where I wrote in my goals and I wrote in, my tracking sheet for the week. And I really was committed to being accountable to someone. And so I did calls. Hey, Amber, I did calls with Sarah weekly, and I did trainings. I did every single training that Sarah offered. And now we have even more trainings in our team, Facebook Live from somebody that you're not on their team, all sorts of stuff, right? So there's trainings all over the place. But when, so that's what I did. I did exactly what the information said. And so anyone that would be starting now could do the exact same thing. We have the build guide, we have the launch guide. The information is exactly the same. It may be updated as far as new procedures. It may be, a little bit like that, but it's there and anyone can do this, right? So if you can read and write, Even if you can't read and write, you can still do this because it's all on video as well. So that was kind of my story. I moved really quickly because I was very consistent. I kept booking my calendar up. I kept trying to get new leads. I kept reaching out to people I was scared to reach out to. I kept doing classes, and I did classes all over. So I'm from Nebraska. I did classes all over Nebraska, Grand Island, Broken Bow, North Platte, Lincoln. I traveled to Arkansas. I traveled to Colorado. I traveled to Kansas City. Like, I traveled all over to do classes. And I would travel, one time I did a class, I traveled 3.5 hours to North Platte, did the class, drove home that night. And I didn't think I enrolled anyone at that class. It was like 20 people, and I think I enrolled one person and had a potential lead. Now that lead is a premier on my team and is amazing. So anyway, all that to say, I was very consistent. I taught a lot of classes. I reached out to a lot of people, and I grew to silver and gold by my first leadership in, I think it was in February of 2015. So I went as a gold. I had a couple silvers on my team by that time, and took people with me and all that kind of stuff. So it was amazing time. It went really quickly. And then I reached platinum by April of 15. I reached diamond by by July of 15, and walked as diamond at convention of 15. So it went really quickly. So that's kind of my story. Okay, so your top reasons that doTERRA is an amazing company to work for, and then I will go through these separately. So one is the community that doTERRA offers, and that's just a part of it when you join is it's just amazing. Okay, the compensation plan. There are some private videos that I can send you on the compensation plan compared to other network marketing companies out there. And I know I have people that have come to me and said, hey, I've been in this company for this many years. I have this amount of volume every month, and I'm making $2,000 to $3,000 less than what I would be making in your company if I was, with the same amount of volume. So there's always differences in how ours looks, but with the volume involved, our company, like, I wouldn't even be diamond barely with the volume that I have right now. And I went diamond in 11 months. So the compensation it's out of this world. The belief in the product, the belief in the business, that is huge. And then the development, the personal development that's involved. Okay, so first of all, community. So obviously, you all are watching this. There's people that I have gotten to know through doTERRA. There is an amount. Hey, Kat. There's an amount of people that I never would have met if I didn't start doTERRA. So I didn't know back when I started, and I said I was happy staying at home being a mom. I was. And I think it's one of my most favorite jobs that I've ever had, and I wouldn't trade any of that. But when I got started with doTERRA, I realized that there's an amount of my personal being, who God created me to be, that was starting to feel suffocated because I wasn't developing that side of me. I wasn't in community with other women as much as I should be or wanted to be, and that has taken over with doTERRA. It's become this huge part of my life, and not only just with people on my team, but people I've met all over the place. So Amber, that's on this live, she is someone that started following me on Instagram, and I met her at convention. She's not on my team, but we just connected, and we sought each other out and found each other at convention, and just have this connection. Another one is one of my new builders and one of my sweetest soul sister friends, Katie. She's from Alabama. She found me on Instagram. We connected, somehow we sent a message to each other or whatever, and just started talking. And it just became this thing where sometimes you just connect and you just know that's your person. And then there's tons of people in Lincoln and local and on my team that I never would have met and had this relationship with, this friendship with, had it not been for working with them in doTERRA. And now some of them are my very best friends that I talk to nonstop all the time. So it is amazing, the community involved. And especially in this day and age where we are less and less apt to go actually to an event and socialize, the amount of community that we can find growing together, interacting together, becoming friends on Instagram or social media or wherever it is, that part has been huge. And that's part of our world that is, it's a lost art, the community, places to connect. And it's also awesome because doTERRA is a global company. So I have people on my team from all over the world, and people that I want to connect with that are in different countries, that we can do that because of the internet, because of social media. I don't even have to go to their country and talk to them in person for them to enroll and start building on my team, right? So it's amazing. And like-minded. So a lot of times we have these interactions with these people just because we have to be around them. Maybe it's a school thing, or if you're in a full-time job or part-time job or whatever, you have to be around them because of where you're at in the world, in your job or in your whatever. But they may not be like-minded, right? Even some of your family members they don't think the same as you. So when you get into something like doTERRA and you find these people that are like-minded, when you can, you look at them and they're like a soul sister, a soul friend, because they believe the same things that you believe, and then you have this other thing in common, doTERRA, oil love. It's this gift that you usually don't know that you want or that you're missing or that you're so excited to have until you get into doTERRA. Okay, the compensation. So I will be posting more about the business in the coming next couple days or so, just to kind of continue to give you a peek into maybe what my work week looks like, or what doTERRA's compensation plan looks like, or how to get involved or how to get started or whatever. But the compensation plan, first of all, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. So I have this happen a lot where people are like, they start and they give it maybe even a year of so-so interaction. So-so, by having a class or, enrolling like maybe 10 people or so throughout that year. But nothing is really consistent. They're not, they may build hard 1 month and then they're totally like, I think they died. I lost them the next couple months. You don't see them again. And so it's not real consistent. And then they give up because they're saying they're not making any money. So doTERRA, the compensation for new people joining, and I would say probably until at least gold or platinum, the amount of money is not super significant if you're not enrolling people. So that is where we call it fast starts, because every week you get paid on who you are enrolling and who your team is enrolling, who you're sharing oils with. So if you stop enrolling or your team stops enrolling, then you stop getting those fast starts and your checks go down quite a bit. But if you are enrolling and your team is enrolling, there's months where, and I honestly don't feel like we have very high fast starts in my team compared to some other teams that I've heard of, but we're fairly new still. But there's months or weeks where we'll get paid $50 in fast starts, or there's months where we'll get paid $400 or $800 in fast starts. It's very fluctuating, but it is something that is uncapped, and it is So there's a level to it. I won't get into it a ton. I'll post some more graphics about this later. But who I enroll, I get paid 20% off them for a certain amount of time. Who my team enrolls, my personal enrollments, so XYZ, who they enroll, I get paid 10% off of for a certain amount of time. They get paid 20. And then who XYZ, who their people enroll, 1, 2, 3, then I get paid 5% off of those, 10%, 20%. And so those, I constantly am enrolling people. I constantly am helping my team enroll people because the fast starts are coming in every single week. So that's where people make their money right away. That's where they pay off their kit right away. The initial investment to get involved is, that's only your oils to get involved. It's paid off right away. So then over time, as you put more and more people under you, you're not getting paid fast starts on them, you're getting paid unilevel. And unilevel is like a big family tree, drop down, it's a ton of people under me. I have almost 6,000 people on my team, so I get paid unilevel on all those people under me, okay? So it's anywhere from 2% to 7%, and so it benefits me to plug in and build under my teammates, which is amazing. And it benefits them to plug in and build under their teams. So it's just this constant, another part of community. So unilevel, I will post a graphic on that after this call, but I was gonna go find it real quick though, so I could tell you guys just kind of off the top. Okay, so an elite, like your first big rank that you hit, average monthly income for those people is $400, so an annual income of $4,800. So not huge, but that's a car payment that you could be paying. That's a school payment, that's a grocery bill, whatever. And then you go Premier is $1,100 every month, Silver $2,200, almost $3,000. Gold almost 5,000, and then you reach like diamond. Average monthly income is almost $1,700 with the annual income of 200,000. Blue diamond 38,000 monthly. 38,000, you guys, and I do have a college degree, but anyone can do this. So if you don't have a college degree, you can earn that much money, right? So that's over 400,000 let me say this again, 460,000. That's plus, like that's your annual 460,000. Presidentials, 100,000 plus a month on average. So that's a really solidified, solid presidential team. And then they're earning millions every year. So I will post that graphic, and you can find that on doTERRA as well. But the earning income is definitely there. And people that are just your average Joe, anyone, with every count and strike against them, are earning those amounts. And still, there's hundreds of new diamonds every single month that hit. And there's hundreds of new platinums and golds and silvers and premiers and elites that hit every single month. So the earning potential is definitely there. And on my team specifically, I have several spots where they're open to, there's always openings for people that want to build, but there's specific spots on my team that I'm looking for people that are wanting this, that are wanting to pay off loans, that are wanting financial freedom, that want to travel, that want to experience life in a different way, that want to give back to their community, that want to interact with people on social media, that have this desire to find more in their life, to develop more than they are right now. I'm looking for people that are self-starters, that don't need a ton of direction, but I will be your biggest cheerleader. Like there's spots, there's places for you. Any type of person, any level of play, I should say, I can find a place for you on my team. And I can help you get to where you want to be. So if you're coachable, I can help you get to gold. I can help you get to elite. I can help you get to diamond. It is definitely a possibility. All of the doors are open if you are willing to do the work to push through and to get through those doors. All right, let's talk about compensation. Oh, the other thing, so with the fast starts, if you are enrolling people, it means you're working this like a job. So that's the other thing that is different about the people that don't make it versus the people like me that do, is I worked it like a job. I spent daily activity on it, and I still do as a Blue Diamond. I am daily in my office. It's rare that I don't step foot in here or don't do something related to my business. So that can be a pro and a con. You definitely have to have the moments of rest and unplug, but the joy of it is that I can work for 15 minutes in the car before I pick my kids up from school. I can take a day off or 2 or 7 if my kids get sick or I get sick. Like, life goes on. But in those days when I started out beginning, I worked it like a job, and I still do, but it's different now. It's a little bit different because I'm in a different spot. Those starting out, you work it like a job, and you will get paid like it's a job. You'll get paid weekly, and you'll know how much you're going to get paid, and you can count on that money. And unilevel, what we get paid the most on now in our business is our retirement. That's where we're headed. It doesn't mean that our lifestyle has changed. It has changed. We've paid off lots of bills, and we have, dreams and things that are coming. But that's our retirement. That's why you work hard in the beginning, so that your unilevel is built up so that you can retire on it later, right? Years down the road. All right, so your belief, or the belief in the company. You guys, this company is so amazing. I've been to several events. I have interacted, met these people, our owners. I've met them personally. I've interacted with them on several occasions personally. I've met lots and lots and lots of the company employees. There is an integrity and a morale and high morals and a belief, the things that they sacrifice, the things that they've done, how they run their business. It is by far one of the absolute, if not the best company that I've ever worked for. They treat us so incredibly well. They believe in their people that are carrying the message of the oils to house. They treat us so well. There's so much, and again, I'll be posting more about this in the next couple of days, so be looking for that, different things on the business, but I'm trying to think of the right word. Transparency. Their transparency is amazing. So we've got source to you. We've got all of the the earnings posted online. They are featured all over the place. My dad was saying he was just watching Fox News the other day, and they had something about sleep, and they had doTERRA oils on there. So I mean, they're everywhere. The research articles are coming out, all sorts of things like that. All right. Oh yeah, the Healing Hands Foundation, which we just got to partner with them, and the Hope Venture, which is a local organization here in Lincoln that is a global outreach. But so Healing Hands partners with different organizations per the Wellness Advocate putting together all of this information. So one of my leaders and very good friend, Christy Hall, did all the footwork to get all the paperwork done so that we could spend about 2 months raising money for the Hope Venture, and then Healing Hands matched $10,000 of that. So we gave the Hope Venture over $20,000 with doTERRA's help, the Healing Hands Foundation's help, and gave it to the Hope Venture. And I will say that on my vision board, I've had this on my vision board since I was a gold at my first leadership. I wanted to give $15,000 to the Hope Venture. Didn't know how that was going to work. Didn't know when, but we just gave them $20,000. So that's pretty cool. Okay, and belief in the product. So If you've ever done another company, like worked for another multi-level marketing, network marketing company, like I worked for Pampered Chef. It's a great company, but I didn't have a belief in the product. I didn't know how to cook at that time. I didn't know what some of those utensils were. I didn't research anything. I just, kind of faked it till I made it type of thing. And so I didn't have a belief in the product. I never met the company, founders or owners. I did go to some event one time with a bunch of my friends. But there's a difference because, okay, for one, my belief wasn't there. I didn't, invest in it. Two, the amount of product, you can only have so many kitchen utensils. You don't burn through those. They're not consumable. So with oils, I'm using the hair care every single day. I'm using the face care every single day, the toothpaste. I'm using the On Guard beadlets. I'm using oils every day. I'm using the laundry detergent. I'm using the deodorant. I'm using diffusers and hand soap and all those things. So they're consumable. I need to reorder every month because I'm using the product. It's something I use every single day. Everybody in my household uses it. I use it on my pets, right? And so with, some other network marketing products, they are not consumable. Even, a makeup or a hair care or something like that, you can only use so much because you're not using it every single day. Or if you are, maybe only one person is, or it's just not gonna, I don't need to reorder the face care from doTERRA every single month because I don't go through it that fast, right? So the amount of product that doTERRA has and that it's consumable and that I believe in every single thing that I've used, there's not one thing from doTERRA that I don't like. It used to be that I didn't like the deodorant. It didn't work that great, but they have changed it completely and I love it. It smells so good now. So everything that I use from doTERRA, I absolutely love. And I hear that from everybody that, it is so rare that I have a complaint against something from doTERRA. Like people it's a really high quality product. And then belief in the pay. The pay is there from the very beginning. You will get paid if you work doTERRA as a business, even as a hobby. But specifically as a business, you will get paid regularly and it's a good pay. So the belief that you have in doTERRA increases. And then development. You've heard me talk about this, and the only reason I'm on here right now talking to you is because of the personal development that I've done, because of doTERRA, because of, who I've listened to at different events, who has posted about a book they've read because of the community that I'm involved in, the people that I follow, the people that I surround myself with. There's so much change. When I started, obviously I was just in it for, $50 a month, but I remember thinking, I will never speak on stage like my friend Sarah. I will never run retreats like she's running. I will never, because that's just not me. I can't do that. That's, well, since then, I've spoke on the doTERRA stage twice. I've done retreats. I've run my own retreats. I've done tons of speaking things like this. I've gotten up at 6 a.m. with my hair a mess and had coffee with you guys. Like, there's so much that's happened inside of me. And I could have found that another way, but I didn't. I found it because I started this business. I'm working, I'm my own boss, and I have to up-level myself in order to continue to grow and continue to push to the next ranks, the next levels, find new leaders to follow me. If I'm not growing, no one with me is going to grow unless they're just amazing and rock stars. But just think about it. If the people you're following in this business or your friends, if they're not growing, you're probably not either. If they're not encouraging you and inspiring you and pushing you to do more, you're probably not going to either. It's pretty rare. I would say like 1 in 100 will do it no matter what anyone else around them is going to do, right? But then once we get into this, I would keep going even if my leader left, because of the belief that I have in this business and what I've seen it already do in our lives and all the people on my team. Like, that's unreal, right? Okay, so why is this a good time to start with doTERRA? So last year at convention, they gave us a snippet into, actually it was a year ago, and then more so this year, how they are overwhelming and infiltrating and flooding the healthcare world, and they're going to flip-flop it and change. They're just going to flood the healthcare world with doTERRA and natural resources. And that starts with 5 different healthcare clinics that they're opening in the US, and people will be able to go and pay a really fair price to go get looked at, and then they'll choose if they want holistic natural option or if they want to go with a more modern approach. And there's nothing wrong with either one of them. Both are needed in today's world, but what we don't have is the option, right? When you go to the doctor, you have one option. You have to go to a specific doctor for a natural option. They're not combined, and that's what doTERRA wants to do is merge them and create this amazing bond. So if you're listening across the world, lots of other countries have really great healthcare options and health. Anyway, the US is lacking on that, and so doTERRA really wants to change that. So that's happening. We are a debt-free company. So that was years ago that we were debt-free. But what that means is that they can continue to pour into the people like you and me who are the door-to-door, the voice of doTERRA, and we can, they're going to pour into us. They're going to offer solutions, options, places to better yourself. And so I'm blown away by the movement, not only just with oils themselves, but with what doTERRA is offering, like something like this right now, right? Would you be on a call seeing if there's an option for you to better yourself, better your financial freedom, better the way that your kids grow up, if it weren't for doTERRA, right? That option wouldn't be there. And so I love that. Like I said before, it's global. So if you are watching from somewhere else in the world, there is a possibility, huge possibilities, for you to grow an oil team, for me to come and help you get started. Maybe you don't need me to get started, all the better. You start yourself. But we're global. So anywhere in the world that you're watching, you have the opportunity to do this and to grow an oil team and better your life, those around you, and your team. And like I said before, I have strategic spots. I have spots open that need someone to take over and run whole teams that are there. I have places where you can just get in and get your feet wet and see what happens. I have spots where, there's still some interaction going on, but I need someone to just jump in that spot and outrank the person above them, basically, so that they become the gold leader that I need. And when I say that, I'm not discounting anyone on my team and what they're doing, because there's a lot of people on my team that may have started doTERRA and then they got sidetracked with whatever's going on around them, or they realized it wasn't what they wanted or what they were hoping for. So they're still a part of my team. They're still being blessed by the people below them. They still share oils and love oils, but I want people that are willing to run, that want this bad, that want to be diamond, that want to be gold, that want to be presidential, that want to be better than me, that want to outrank me, they want the world, that want to travel with me, that want to go on incentive trips with me, that want to go to leadership with me, that want to hang out and have this community. I want you. If that's you, I want you to join my team. So we need to talk, right? Okay, so moving into the last point, is why you should join me. And I've really kind of overstepped and like already told you these things. But for one, I could not be successful without the team that is under me. So just because someone's under me doesn't mean I'm their boss, doesn't mean that I know everything and they don't, doesn't mean that they have to ask for permission before they do things. All it means is that I help them as much as I can. If you are running and moving, no matter what rank you're at, it is my goal and my heart's desire to help you grow. So if you are not in that spot where, you know, you're moving fast or whatever, you still get my attention, but you have to be the one that initiates that. You have to be the one that kind of tells me you want it, right? Because if I don't see you enrolling anyone, I don't see you moving, it's hard for me to know. But I interact with everybody on my team, no matter if they are, you know, haven't even reached executive or elite yet, or whether they are gold or platinum, right? So there's all sorts of people that that are on my team that I interact with, and I love interacting with everyone. If you want to run, I will run with you at the pace that you want to run. Oh, and I'll leave you with this. So yes, I love working this business. I love enrolling people. I love the business side of it. I actually really love rank advancing. I love getting to the next level, setting goals, all those things. But here's the thing that we are constantly reminded of. When I said I had almost 6,000 people on my team, when we look at that, we look at 6,000 people that have had lives changed. And some of those people have dropped off. They're not even counted anymore because they're not still using oils, but they did at one point in time. They got the message one time. And there's so many people that are ordering their oils on a regular basis because they love their oils. They love the people that they're interacting with. And so when we look at that, we look at how many people's pain level has gone down because they are using oils, how many people's emotional stability has changed, has leveled out because they've experienced oils, how many people's financial stability has up-leveled because they've started doing doTERRA as a business, how many people have broken out of their, looking inward, self-doubt, fear, anxiety, scarcity, fearful mindedness, whatever that is, being scared to talk in front of people, being scared to present, being, scared of the community, of interacting with people, whatever it is, that's changed because of the oils and because of the people that they've interacted with. There's just so much more to doTERRA than just oil bottles or than just a company. So I just want to leave you with that, and that if you want this, if you want more to your life, if you want more to your finances, to your health, to your emotions, to your community, this holistic approach, if you want more, it is available to you. And I guarantee that we can help you get started and help you plug in and help you grow your team. Not just in my team, but when you become a part of my team, you become a part of the tribe. You become a part of Sarah's team and Heather's team and the Goddard's team. Like, there's so much more than meets the eye. So if this is speaking to your heart, to your brain, let's connect, right? If you are listening to this and you're like, okay, this maybe isn't you, but maybe it's somebody else, please share this with them. Share this with them, help them connect with me. There's time is of the essence, and yet there's never a bad time to start, right? But right now is a great time to start. This is when a lot of people start to rank advance through the next couple months. There's so much. So I could keep going on and on, but that's it. Let's see if I missed any questions. Thanks for joining, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Anybody that is still on, anybody have questions on the business? I appreciate your time. I appreciate you being on with me and being a part of my journey. I love being a part of yours. If you're watching this later, and I'll be linking this up to YouTube and my website as well. But yeah, so later, if you're watching this, the recording, go ahead and post your questions too, and I can, oh, Kat, I'm so glad you're on my team too. I appreciate you. But I can get questions later too. So if you're watching this, the replay, let me know. Send me a DM if you are feeling this in your heart. I know it took me in the span of about 2 weeks, it took about probably 6 or 7 interactions with Sarah for her to actually get me to commit, because it's scary. It's hard to say yes. It's hard to say I'm ready sometimes. You know, I have leaders that they watched me for a year before they joined me. You know, so if that's you and you're like, well, I just don't know if I'm ready, I think it's time. I think you would be very happy a year from now if you said, I'm so glad I jumped on board with her in January of 2019 than waiting until January of 2020. So, all right, I hope you guys have a great afternoon, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye, Facebook. Have a great one. And goodbye, Instagram.